what I don't understand is I know black women are very close to homosexual black men. Why don't y'all have these conversations amongst each other and try and hold each other accountable instead of sitting there trying to laugh, haha, looking at these down low men? There's some dude going viral on TikTok that people keep talking about, and he's putting out all these tropes about down low men, but we look at the statistics and we like, yo, y'all need to, black women and homosexual black men need to be having these discussions together and try and bring down these numbers. It would only make sense. So when you have a hypersexual community, a small percentage of them, and they're having sex with the same men, the men are having sex with the large population of women, that's how you get homosexual men, black women, and then heterosexual black men in third. These are all statistics from 2022 that pertain to the black community. Some probably may be shocking. Diagnosed with HIV at more than 7 times the rate of non-Hispanic whites. Black males were 7.6 times more likely to have a diagnosis of HIV infection than non-Hispanic white males. Black females were 10 times more likely than non-Hispanic white females to have a diagnosis of HIV infection. Non-Hispanic black or African American males were 6.4 times more likely than non-Hispanic white males to die with HIV infection. In 2022, non-Hispanic black or African Americans were nearly 7 times more likely than non-Hispanic whites to die of AIDS. So HIV diagnosis. This is where the problem is. There is one particular group that the black community needs to be concerned about, and it is the gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men. MSM were the population most affected by HIV in the United States. MSM, men who have sex with men, accounted for 67. Y'all heard me? 67. 25,422 of new HIV diagnoses in the United States and 6 territories and freely associated states. Black/African American men who have sex with men accounted for 35%, 8,831 of the 37,981 new HIV diagnoses, and 35% of diagnosis among males. So, if all men who have sex with men is 67%, and black men who have sex with men is 35%, that's crazy. Because of the fact that our LGBTQ population for black men is 39% of 1.2 million. So from that small group, they account for 35% of the new diagnoses in 2022. That's crazy, right? And then Hispanic/Latino men who have sex with men accounted for 37%, 9,374 of the 37,000 new HIV diagnoses, and 37% among males. So they're actually leading us. It's crazy. This is what the new cases look like. And I know this is the most, let me bring myself up here, because I've talked about this before, because a lot of people couldn't understand, well, why is the focus always on heterosexual black men when we know that homosexual black men are the ones that's actually spreading HIV the most in the black community? And black women are right there in the middle. Why is that? Because those men, there are some men in that particular group that may be attracted to black women. And this is just my theory here. Black women are having sex with those guys. Those guys may be down low, not telling the women that they have sex with men, and they're carrying these diseases, because we all know that women get tested more than men. So when you have a hypersexual community, a small percentage of them, and they're having sex with the same men, the men are having sex with the large population of women, that's how you get homosexual men, black women, and then heterosexual black men in third. Because again, most men don't qualify for sex. Most men aren't having regular sex like that, let alone having multiple partners. So that speaks to that as well. Black community makes sense. And I know in these, and what I don't understand is I know black women are very close to homosexual black men. Why don't y'all have these conversations amongst each other and try and hold each other accountable instead of sitting there trying to laugh, haha, looking at these down low men? There's some dude going viral on TikTok that people keep talking about, and he's putting out all these tropes about down low men, but we look at the statistics and we like, yo, y'all need to, black women and homosexual black men need to be having these discussions together and try and bring down these numbers. It would only make sense. But y'all be more focused on heterosexual black men when in this case we're not the problem. Okay? Let me know if this is making sense. And I'm gonna show you guys the numbers. I'm gonna show you where you can find them too. HIV diagnosis in 2022 for African American male ages 13 years and older, male to male MSM contact. Their number was 8,828. And I'm going to show you where I got these numbers from because I said 8,831 on the other slide, but I actually did an update and I'm going to show you. HIV diagnosis 2022 for African American females ages 13 years and older, heterosexual contact, 3,181 cases. And then right there at the bottom, black men ages 13 years and older, heterosexual contact, 1,518 cases. So just like I stated, yes, the black community does have a large percentage, large population of people who have HIV, who are diagnosed with HIV in 2022. So it is absolutely a problem. But for the black community to be focused on all these black men, these heterosexual black men causing the issues, no, it's not. Okay? This is the HIV prevalence rate in the United States for the black community. It is for 2022, it is 435,070 cases. That is 1,243.8 cases per 100,000 black people. So it is way higher than the average for the total population. That's why this is an issue. So for every 100,000 black people that you see over the age of 13, both men and women, 1,243.8 are diagnosed with HIV. 2022, the black community accounted for 39.8%, 435,000, even though we only represent approximately 14% of the population. Now y'all see why this is an issue? HIV prevention. There's multiple ways using HIV medication to reduce risk. HIV treatment as prevention. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, that is PrEP. We're going to discuss that here. Post-exposure prophylaxis, that's HIV medication. Reducing risk from alcohol and drug use. Alcohol and HIV risk. Substance use and HIV risk. This is all prevention measures. Education. Then you got reducing sexual risk, preventing sexual transmission of HIV. What's missing on this list, guys? Do you see anything that has to do with abstinence? No, and the reason why, like I said, it would make my job so much easier if people wasn't out there sneaking in. You know what I'm saying? But we know that's not going to happen. So you have to, you have to acquiesce to what's actually going on in the world. You cannot overlook these things. So we have to give education, give preventative measures to make sure that people are protected, because people are not gonna stop having sex. It just is what it is. I would love for people not to have sex and or at least just have sex with one person, but that shit ain't gonna happen. Okay, people gonna sneak in.